All right. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night. And, well, this isn't the morning brew, but it is Captain Trek. And we are talking about what the fuck. Star Trek Discovery. Season 4, Episode 1, Kobayashi Maru. Now, I don't know what to say. This has got to be one of the stupidest things I've ever seen. Now, while I can say that this was one of Michael Burnham's more interesting moments. Yeah, I don't think so. It's just not a good. No. And I just thought I'd check out Rotten Tomatoes. The critic rating is critics rating too. So not many people have rated it yet. The episode info: Captain Burnham and the crew of the USS Discovery face a threat unlike any they've encountered. Feeling the impact, they must confront the unknown and work together to ensure a hopeful future for all. Yeah. Yeah, this episode is on Paramount Plus. Air date November 18th, 2021. Of course, today. I'm not going to say who it's directed by because I'm not going to slaughter the name. Written by Michelle Paradise, Jenny Lumet, and Alex Kurtzman. It really is no surprise. Of course, the critics rate Discovery's action-packed season opener is unlikely to win over any new fans, but it's the ideal production to both this year's big threat and the challengers facing Burnham in the captain's chair. That's a tomato. The second one, and that was Richard Edwards, who is a film critic. The next one is Zach Hanlon, AV Club, also a tomato. Discovery has saved the universe multiple times. Can't they just, fly around and hang out for a while? Yeah, it'd kind of be nice to actually see them fly a mission, maybe. Not something where they're going on a, we've got to save the galaxy. We got to save the universe again. Because, yeah. Why? It just doesn't make any sense. And of course, the one thing I have to give credit to Michael Burnham for is she's looking at this hologram of something when the admiral or whoever walks in, and not an admiral, president, the president walks in and is talking to her, and she's not crying. So I can honestly say, at least then, she has some use. And she's not completely, annoying. But I will say, when she was about to take the bee out to do the rescue, I was cheering for her to crash and burn because, I would like to see her die. It would be nice to have, I don't know, something that isn't the Michael Burnham show. I don't know what the fuck they were thinking when they wrote this episode. I really don't. I got the opportunity to watch it with Wes Moody. I did something over on his channel with him on Odyssey. If you haven't checked out Odyssey, please do. It is the best alternative to YouTube. And at this point, we're able to use more footage for fair use than what YouTube will allow, which I like. I may start going over to Odyssey more to broadcast a little bit more content, so I'm not as limited to what I can show, and having to edit out 95% of an episode and maybe getting by with showing a couple of clips and a couple of frames. So long as they're spaced out enough and not too long. So, unfortunately, that's what YouTube has become. Utterly useless. Well, not useless, I should say. I'm able to talk to you on this platform. If any of you have seen this episode of Star Trek Discovery, please feel free to join me. I was just utterly this thing was just a shit show. I saw Bird of Prey 5's review, and apparently I'm in the show. I didn't know it. Maybe I should demand Paramount to give me some money since I'm in the show apparently. So credit Bird for that, because apparently I'm in the show. Oh, of course he was saying a few other things that made no sense, but hey, what the heck? It's Bird of Prey 5. Qapla. Now, I really, really have no hope for the rest of the season. They don't even have very many ratings in for critics. Therefore, they're not going to have many ratings for others. So, this doesn't look good. Now I can tell you that there were different things that got higher scores. Let's see here now. Squid Game's got a 94% popularity. Let's see here. That's really the only one that I've. Midnight Mass has an 89% approval rating. You. I don't even know what you is. You. What would you do for love? For a brilliant male bookstore manager who crosses paths with the aspiring female writer, this question is put to the test. A charming yet awkward crush becomes something even more sinister when the writer becomes the manager's obsession. Oh, goody. And it has an audience score of 77%. And that still sounds better than Star Trek Discovery Season 4, Episode 1, Kobayashi Maru. Quite honestly, this is a horrible episode. If you don't have Paramount Plus, and you're wanting to get it for that, forget it. It's not worth it. And hey, PCAT, at Josh Street, was it as bad as the other 3 seasons, Captain? Yes. Yes, it was. It was absolutely horrible. God awful. And of course, let's see here. I don't know if he heard me talking or not.
Hello world, it's Fertile Bright 5, qapla.
Qapla. So I'm in the show, huh?
You're in yeah, I don't know. I don't know how your name came up.
All of a sudden I'm listening, not really watching because I was kind of doing something else at the time. And all of a sudden I hear Captain Trek. Captain Trek. The fuck? Okay, I go back. I could not have heard that right. Oh no.
Yeah, sorry, Cap. I don't know what I was thinking.
Oh. Well, this was right after you were talking about the jump drive.
Right. My review had as much effort put into it as the show deserves. But we'll just put it that way.
No, more than it deserves. And quite honestly, I agree with your rating of 3. That one is going high for me.
Hello, George.
Greetings,
and
guys.
yes, hello, George.
I just want to say, I'm sorry. This is going to be my venting, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to vent and record it for prosperity. I think I figured out what's going wrong with this Discovery crap. And this is a really bad STD, and I think I know why. The writers, they don't know how to write a singular, unique voice to each of the characters. Why I say this is because when I watched this episode, and it was really, really hard to watch this episode because there was so much lack of basic logic. I mean, like 1 + 1 = 2 kind of thing. Every one of these actors in the show has a dialogue, but as the one character is saying their line, it continues to the next character. And it continues to the next character and the next character and the next character. It's like you get a whole sentence or a paragraph split up between 5 characters. I mean, is everybody in this show telepathic? they know what the other person's saying, talking, all that stuff. Like, that's total bullshit. And then I realized it's the writers. They don't know how to write a unique voice, a unique character for each of these characters in the show. They all speak in one voice, and they just take, oh, I got all this dialogue. Okay, let's just split up between these characters in this shot, and let's split up this entire paragraph between these characters in that shot. And then it's like, this is why, one of the core reasons why it's so bad. And the other one is because this show just really sucks. And butterfly people, oh fuck, God, oh my God.
Oh my God, it's horrible. Oh God, I do have to say hi to Josh Street. Let's see here. So, Captain, you're going to steal Bert's time machine to make sure you don't watch this dumpster fire. Well, I kind of had fun with oh, God damn it, Wes Moody. That's who I was trying to think of. And hey, Josh Street, Super Blubberpuss, hello, 54.5 Access Radio. Says, I didn't see any penguins. Did Tilla eat them all? Yes, I think so.
Oh, sorry. One more thing. Everybody in this show is always happy. Every single buddy in the show is happy. The engineers, the people on the bridge, they all got a smile on their face. It was like that Han Solo movie or a Solo movie where, you know, the Millennium Falcon's in peril. It's about to be swallowed up by a singularity. Everyone's, you know, worried, and they got this, you know, stressful look on their face. And there's the actor who's playing Han Solo, all just happy as he's moving around his joystick.
And no, they're not Borg. Borg would be more intelligent and more efficient.
And Borg has more personality and more feeling than this show.
Yes. And hey, BA, what's going on? Oh my God. I honestly, I don't know. It seems kind of similar, like they've ripped off something from the original series with this planet thing that destroys it, kind of merging Star Trek and Star Wars and whatever other shit they want to put in there. It's kind of like watching Days of Our Sci-Fi. It's a soap opera and a sci-fi series all in one.
Yes, let's do it together. That whole concept kind of cancels out the purpose of a fucking captain, you know, who gives orders. Let's do it together. You know, let's go into action together. Let's take out. Let's figure this out together. And it's like, who the fuck gives on the show then?
Let's fly. What a dumbass. Let's fly.
Yeah, like you fly in space. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Last I knew, you needed an atmosphere to fly.
Well, you need some sort of gravity, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, let's just whatever.
Wait. You know what? It just dawned on me. Bird, why the hell are you so generous in giving them 3?
Honestly, I didn't think it was the worst episode. Otherwise, like the first couple minutes, like at the lower decks, writing was actually better than their usual writing. I mean, granted, it's nowhere near actual Star Trek writing, but the whole encounter with the moth people, it held my interest. It was stupid as anything, but it held my interest.
Yeah, where was the danger? I mean, they were all laughing and smiling. It's like I just.
Most of my
And
negative stuff came in near the end. Like really, like this giant gravity, whatever, that big bad that's going to be the whole season. Like this thing touches a space station and it starts spinning really fast, and eventually after hours is destroyed. But it touches a planet and instantly the planet's destroyed.
Oh yeah, and what was that bullshit? Oh, let me, can you, look at the planet? Well, the planet's not there. Oh, wait a minute, the planet's moved over by a smidgen. It's like, what kind of logic is that?
I would love to do a video. I don't even remember why I know the song, but have a picture of Michael Burnham and play a clip of the song "Wrecking Ball."
That kind of hurts, even just the visuals. That really hurts the visuals, man. Holy smokes.
I've seen better fan films.
You know what? I have a theory. I'm going to throw this out there. I think every actor on this series has burned their future potential, just like the Rate Skywalker chick. I don't think these guys are going to have any future in doing other shows. I don't think so.
Oh, I don't. God, no. They would have to radically alter their appearance to, be able to hide the fact that they were on this disaster. Let's see here. PCAT says Spock's brain, The Way to Eden, and Beverly banging the ghost are higher quality than this. And I have to agree 100%. At least
Mud. I submit to you, Mud. That's it.
Yeah. Add that one to the list. Yeah, exactly. I was thinking I would rather, I can't remember the title of the episode. Enterprise, where I can't think of the guy's name either. Trip, I think. Yeah, grew nipples on his arms because he was pregnant.
I totally blanked out that entire show. Just for
I think that was the first episode after the two-parter.
I think that was like the fourth, maybe.
It's early. It's an early.
It's early. Yeah.
All right. I got a question for you guys, because this is my usual way I watch Discovery. I watched the first episode in the season. I watched the last episode in the season. All right. And even when I watch an episode, I start it off normally, and then I hit the fast forward, and then I hit the fast forward, and then I hit the really, really fast forward. And then by the time I see the credits, I roll back a little just to see what happens in the last 30 seconds. And then I get on my knees and thank God that I survived another episode.
Let's put it this way. I watched it at, what was it? It was either 1.25 or 1.5. And quite honestly, there were several times And he hadn't changed the setting on how fast it was going. There were several times where it sounded like they were talking at normal speed. And it's like, oh my God, this would be horrible to watch at regular speed if it's this slow going at 1.5.
Just it was unexpected is the name of the Enterprise episode, and it's episode 5.
Thank you. I thought it was the 5th one, but
And how could they call this episode Kobayashi Maru? There was nothing Kobayashi. There was nothing. There's nothing.
Towards the end, the president and Michael start talking about the Kobayashi Maru, and the president tells Michael that she never learned her Kobayashi Maru lesson because Michael still thinks she can. Basically, she has the same discussion they have with Kirk in Star Trek 2009, that he thinks he can get everybody home all the time. He's never had to make the hard decision.
okay. Let me. Why the fuck would she know about the Kobayashi Maru? It hadn't been done at that point.
Yeah, weren't all
Burnham.
Starfleet records destroyed?
That is
Burnham
true.
would
Burnham
not have gone through the Kobayashi Maru ever.
Well, in the Prime universe, which is where Burnham comes from, supposedly, I don't know when they started the Kobayashi Maru.
The Kobayashi Maru would have started long after the Discovery, before time jumped. There's no way that because the Discovery is one of the first few warp.
Discovery is 15 years before TOS, or 10 years before TOS.
Yeah.
So they've already had Constitution class vessels in service. It's possible they have a Kobayashi Maru test that's different than the one we see in, because we learn about Kobayashi Maru in Star Trek 2. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wrath of Khan is the first time we learn about Kobayashi Maru. And then it comes up again in Star Trek 2009, where we find Spock created it in that timeline, at least. And Kirk wants to meet the person who is complaining, but we don't know the same thing happened in the regular timeline.
Okay, you said a lot, but no, it's okay. It's okay. You just made me happy. I forgot this piece of shit is in the Prime universe. No, it's not in the Prime universe. It's in the JJ universe, right?
No, it's not in the JJ.
Oh fuck! I just got depressed more. Jeez.
No. For the show Enterprise, there's no Kobayashi Maru. Ken Jack Ben. No, but for Discovery, there may be. Michael Burnham may know Kobayashi Maru. To be honest, though, there's a pretty good argument that she wouldn't. Because if Spock was the person who created the Kobayashi Maru in both universes, she was in Starfleet before he was, before he created the test. And presumably at that point in time, he would have either had just created it, or it would either be like a brand new thing, or he hadn't created it yet. So she either wouldn't know about it, or it wouldn't be common discussion part.
She wouldn't know about it, period, because that's only for what do you call captains. Yeah.
Oh no. Well, again, what we saw in Wrath of Khan was a little different than we saw in Star Trek 2009.
Okay.
And later Trek made it seem like anybody who goes to the academy, you've got to do the Kobayashi Maru. Whereas in Wrath of Khan, it made it seem that you had to already, I don't know, it's just that she played the part so differently. Yeah, I don't know. I really, I don't know. But I don't, you're right. I think Burnham should not know what the Kobayashi Maru is. I think that was a really bad writing. They forgot that they're prequel to TOS.
They don't know. I mean, I don't think they've actually watched Star Trek.
But the other thing is, why would this president even know about the Kobayashi Maru if Starfleet Academy was closed, 50, 75 years before she was born? And like, what were they doing for officers? Starfleet still existed. Were all the humans just dying off? And obviously they were still getting new human officers. So they had to have some way of bringing in new people. Why would you not call that Starfleet Academy?
Well,
Even if it was.
And how about the fantasy? I just picked up on this in this episode in the opening, like monologue, whatever you want to call it, where all of a sudden all the dilithium became inert and all these starships blew up at the same time. That's total bullshit. There's no way a singularity event would transverse the entire fucking known universe, excuse my language, to actually make something happen at the very same moment.
Yeah, but I mean, I agree, but that's a problem with last year's writing.
Yeah, what shielded this planet?
Right, because I mean, the Moth planet, why did their satellites not explode if they ran on dilithium?
That's
for some reason, their satellites just went offline instead of explode. Which, number one, what idiot makes a satellite run on dilithium? And number two, if it does run on dilithium, they should have all been blown to bits, unless they already ran out of dilithium before the burn. In which case, these Moth people are clearly a stupid race.
Here's something, an interesting thought. If these writers are clever, and I highly do not believe that, they could take this concept that all these spaceships, all these starships blew up at the same time, with just a little bit twist in the concept that the Starfleet was infiltrated, and there was some sort of invasion plan that made all these starships blow up at the same time. Instead of something ridiculous as, oh, okay, this little piece of matter became inert. Oh, everything blew up.
Darius. Burnham is the reason Kirk doesn't believe in the no-win scenario, and she taught him how to hack computers.
Oh yeah, that's another thing.
Sure.
How are all these different characters, and I use the word very loosely, able to know everything, in terms of utility? Like, say, the captain knows how to hack a computer and knows about engineering. The engineer knows about how to do this and that. If that's outside his profession of being a fucking engineer, I continue. Oh, then wait a minute. I just answered my own question already. I did, didn't I? Yeah, it's the writers. They have the same paragraph. They have one paragraph. They just spread it out across all the characters.
Okay. I can explain part of that. That's something that Darren Wagner has gone into before, because being on a submarine, you have to know different stations. You have to be able to run different stations. So knowing different areas other than your expertise is not necessarily outside the realm of reality. However, knowing all this tech that is or was beyond their experience in 6 months that they've been there? How long have they been there total? Under a year?
You're asking us if we actually paid attention?
They were doing 5 months. That since we had last seen them, it was 5 months of them running dilithium around.
Okay, so it was 5 months of them running dilithium around, which means they hadn't been off their damn ship. So they wouldn't have had time to have really fucked around looking into other. No, they know too much. It's bad writing. Oh my god! Really?
That makes sense. Bad robot, bad writing, bad production. I'm starting to see a pattern here.
Piquette says, I think submarine crew may be the only crew in the military where you need to know everything. That's probably true. But why they would know how to do all this other stuff in ships that are well beyond their level of experience, because they're now learning their own damn ship again. Because it's obviously not identical. You know, the warp nacelles didn't just fly up and spin around and do whatever the hell they do now. So they had to put in new controls for that. Yeah. What the hell?
I gotta go. Thank you very much for having me. Hail Bird.
Absolutely.
Hail the chat.
Ned, thank you for joining. I quite honestly, I am surprised that I do want to know. I do want to know what Doomcock, Nerdrotic, and Salty Trekker think of this piece of shit. I really do. And I would love to know what they score. If they would score it. I watched it prior to seeing your
Nerdrotic
review.
did a review, a live review today.
Okay, what was his?
He thought it was terrible. He thought it was just god awful. I don't think he gave it a number, but as bad could be.
Yeah, I may not go to his streams normally, nor do I normally agree with him completely, but in this case, I do. It was god awful. Oh God. $5 says Michael Burnham will become Q in the final episode. Now she'll wipe out the Q. I don't know how, but she'll develop beyond the Q. She'll be a part of the Z. Now you're welcome up here, Darius. you're more than welcome up here. Same for you, P-Cat. I know you're usually busy during the week. And I don't know if you're at work, Darius, or not, but yeah, that's just absolutely, I'm sorry, utter trash, in my opinion.
Greetings and salutations.
Hello, Kinjack Ben. So have you
Hey,
seen
Cap.
this
Hey, Bird.
disaster yet?
No, I'm not watching it. I don't watch that show. I watched it once with my mother. I was ruining her good time, and I left the room.
You were
I hate
ruining
Star Trek.
So she
was
likes
having
it.
No, she just watched it because it said it was Star Trek, and I didn't want to bother her. Just when she was sick, my mom passed away in December of 2016, I do believe.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear
And
that.
yeah, so she was enjoying herself watching it. It's just spectacle for things. It's like she wasn't like very picky. So I was ruining her good time because it was making me angry watching it. So I left the room. And I hate Star Trek Discovery because it deprived me of time I will never get to share with my mother ever again. Because she was my TV watching buddy, and I'm the one who told her to watch Farscape, and she loved that show.
Yeah, I can see
And
why.
so I hate Star Trek Discovery. I have my reasons, and I will never watch that show ever. I think it's awful. I think it's one of the most wretched things that's ever existed.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the birthday party. Whose birthday is it? Somebody, you know? I don't know. I hope it's not your birthday, because then I just have to find a way to smack you upside the head for not telling us.
Sounds like we got some TV coming through.
Oh yeah, me. Yeah, let me turn that off. I'm in a hotel now, former residence, and I'm in a hotel now. I'm gonna leave here tomorrow. Hopefully, my uncle has a trailer set up. He's supposed to get a trailer for me and my brother to stay in while they rebuild the house.
It's a lot better than a tent.
Oh yeah, it's a lot better than a tent, and it's a lot better than a hotel because it doesn't take $100 and some odd a night. So
Well,
I came.
I know
in, I heard you
hotels
guys
that
talking about
cost
Star
less
Trek.
than that. But
yeah, I haven't been able to find any where I live. So, anyway, I heard you guys talking about Star Trek, and I was just gonna say that a lot of the problems people have with certain episodes of TV shows and movies in general is that they hear like one specific instance of the show. The show will say something they don't like, and then they're gone. They checked out. Their suspension of disbelief is gone. They've heard something they find ridiculous, and they can't afford to pay attention after that. And a lot of the times that happens with scenarios or setups, and they just don't they don't pay attention. And because, like, let's say there's a show and it has like there's a talking dog, and they find talking dogs the most ridiculous scenario ever. Well, then you're never going to find a reason for a talking dog, and whatever reason given isn't going to be okay for that person. So the show sucks and it's bad, and they never want to watch it ever again. I think that happens more often than not when people start criticizing television.
And hey, P-Cat, what's up?
Hey guys,
Howdy,
what's going on?
P-Cat.
How you guys doing?
Doing good, thank you. So have you seen season 4, episode 1 of Discovery?
I have not. I tried to like this show. I tried to convince myself to talk myself into enjoying it, and I gave it 2 full seasons. I had high hopes when Pike came on, and I was intrigued by the flashback episode to the initial pilot, The Cage. I just could not warm up to just about anybody on this show. It just,
That's the hallmark of a bad robot TV show.
yeah.
It's a bad robot show, and you will not like any of the characters. You just won't, and that's the point of it. I believe that it's because J.J. Abrams set up the company.
Technically,
He set him up.
there's Bad Robot has nothing to do. It's Secret Hideout.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is
Bad
a Secret
Robot
Hideout
is the
production.
movies.
Yeah.
Bad Robot is also the one that basically set up this whole thing altogether, because Secret Hideout and Bad Robot are kind of the same. It's just Alex Kurtzman's branch of like Bad Robot or whatever. They're kind of in cahoots.
I don't know about you guys. I got into Trek through my father.
Okay.
It became a family thing. It was we'd spend every Saturday night, or we'd tape it and watch it the next day with the Next Generation. Without fail, we loved it. We did the same thing through Deep Space Nine, through Voyager, through Enterprise. We went to the theater to see several of the movies, and I was hoping with Trek continuing, it's like, oh, I have a young niece. Like Bird, you have a nephew. Captain, I believe you have nephews.
Correct.
Ken
I
Jack,
do as well. I have a nephew.
yeah, and I was like, oh, this will be great. It'll be around. It's still going to continue. I'll be able to watch it with my niece. I would never watch this stuff, even putting aside the bad quality, just the cursing. And I'm not a prude. The cursing. It's like this not a family-oriented show like Trek used to always be.
I've only showed my nephew the original Star Trek and the good stuff. Stuff everybody agrees is Star Trek. I've only showed him that. And so he would be able to follow through with all the different episodes or shows. I told him it was Star Trek #1 is the original series. #2 is Next Generation, and so on. I numbered it for him. I told him that. And he tells me he likes to watch, his favorite episode of Star Trek is Captain Kirk fights the Gorn.
A classic arena.
He likes that episode.
Yep.
And I have to skip past every part until he fights the Gorn, because he says skip it, and so I have to skip it till he gets there. And so he likes to watch Captain Kirk fight the Gorn. And then the other day, he told me when I did something he didn't like, he said, "You're the Gorn," and he kicked me.
Wow.
Did he kick in slow motion like the Gorn, or was it a full-fledged kick?
No, he even did the double fist attack that Captain Kirk does on me. He does it like we're playing, because he's messing around, roughhousing, and he just kicked me. "You're the Gorn," kicked me, and his dad.
How old is he?
Sorry.
He's 3.
Right there.
He's
I'm sorry,
3.
what was that, Bird?
I got to get going. Take care, guys.
Take care. Take care.
See you, Bird.
See you later, Bird. Yeah, he likes Captain Kirk. He was watching King Kong earlier, like about a week ago. He was really into King Kong.
The original
Joseph?
1933 one? Nice.
No, he likes the 2005 one.
Okay.
He likes the 2005 one because the newer one is too big. And it doesn't really look like a gorilla. And he likes the 2005 one. He was upset when King Kong got hurt. He got upset. And I said, "Why do you like King Kong?" He said, "Because he fights. That's why. I think that's why he likes him so much. He fights."
Let's see here. Greetings from the future. Bird this time. Is Bird around this time?
There we go.
Awake, yeah. Well, why are you awake, Joseph? It's after midnight where you are.
It is about 3:09 where I am right now.
West
That's
Coast?
West Coast.
Ah.
Yep.
Yeah, he's left coast.
No, I'm definitely not left of any kind.
The coast is.
Yeah.
You look on a map.
Not so much anymore. I think decidedly purple these days. The everyday folks still here, they are definitely purple, and a lot of LGBT people are definitely around. LGB as in let's go Brandon.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely getting to be a whole lot more purple. And I prefer purple to blue.
Let's see here. LGBT. Okay. Let's go, Brandon, together. I gotta think of something that it begins with Q. That isn't the other word.
The Let's Go Brandon Quartet.
Together quartet. Yes.
Yeah. When did you realize, or how long did it take you to realize for it to hit you that Discovery was not going to work for you as a fan?
When the first time around, I made it 15 minutes into the premiere episode, and go fuck this shit. That was it. It's just like, oh my god! First of all, these things that were on screen were not Klingons.
Yep.
You know what they look like to me? You ever see that episode of Stargate SG-1 where Daniel Jackson gets kidnapped by this fish creature thing looking for his wife Amaroka?
Yes.
That's what they look like. They look like him.
I mean,
they also look like... Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Continue.
Oh, they also remind me of the Unas from that show as well.
Yosef, can you please come on? Please. I'm begging you. Please come on. I want to know what these idiots find positive about Discovery, particularly season 4, episode 1.
How much do you know about the source material? Because it's definitely deviated from the source material. If you don't know anything about what was, you might find this entertaining, but even that is a stretch.
No, all they know is they know some key phrases, they know a couple of titles from episodes or key words, and that's what they do.
And good morning, Yosef.
Hey, Yosef.
Greetings from the future. Give me a moment. Go down. Okay. My wife was going after my dog. My wife was going after my dog, so I had to chase my dog out of my office here. You know what, Captain Trek? And actually, it's not that only the people who were finding it, were talking positively about the episode. I didn't mind the episode. Oh God, I know. But you know what, Captain Trek, on the other hand, I know it's not a surprise for you, me saying that, because I know that you saw my tweet.
Yes, I did.
So, and even you yourself said that you didn't find Michael Burnham annoying. I understand you found the episode annoying, but Michael Burnham wasn't annoying at all. And this is probably the biggest improvement about on the show, that she was actually competent in this episode. This was for me the biggest shocker. There were no tears, no whispers, no it was like everything worked out. And the scene where she had
acting like she had command ability.
Yeah, exactly. That's the point. And that's what I call a huge improvement about the show. You know what? I know they will never be able to avoid basically what they started, like the big threatening galaxy threatening plots. They will never be able to avoid the no white man policy that they have on the show. Looks like it, but still, I didn't mind the episode, and actually it was a big improvement. I'm not saying it was the best Star Trek ever or whatever. I would never say something like that. But it was a vast improvement compared to what we saw, especially in season two, in terms of how they developing the plot and what they did with season three. Because right now it is once again a typical trope of movies where you don't have an enemy, but you have a threat, you know. But still, what I found, it was more it was I don't know how to describe it in other words than it was definitely more bearable than what we saw before. That's why I was positively surprised. Still not like the huge fan of the show, and I wouldn't say that everything was great, but definitely there was a huge improvement, and especially on the part of Michael Burnham's character. And
Oh, I
there
would
was
agree. Michael
and there
Burnham's
was a
character
huge
was
there
improved.
was a huge gain on part of Tilly as well. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a huge gain on the part of Tilly, like 50 pounds.
Oh, this is a horrible joke, but I know that and I posted it that the camera adds like 10 pounds, and she ate probably like a dozen of cameras.
Yeah, I know. I
So,
saw. I love that one.
uh,
That's a good one.
yeah, so definitely no. I don't know. I see it as an improvement. I'm not saying it's a great improvement, but definitely there is an improvement, and I'm hopeful that they will do something with the season. I saw as well Bird's review. I know your stand. I can imagine how you guys, Piket and Kenjak, are about this episode. But I'm the glass half full guy, and I'm like this for the fourth year, and I still wasn't banned from the community. So there is still some goodwill that I see here.
There's always
All I think
goodwill, but I mean, come on. Let's be realistic. I still would rather watch Unexpected.
You know what is really good? Prodigy is really good.
I
I
don't mind
can't.
that episode of Enterprise. I'm just one of these people that just it's a science fiction setting. I can't necessarily be as I'm not very critical of it. It just doesn't bother me that much. The
Mhm.
the fantastical nature of him becoming pregnant doesn't bother me.
Okay, him becoming pregnant doesn't bother me. That doesn't bother me at all. Him developing nipples on his arms, yeah.
That's kind of silly, but it's also just as silly as anything from the original series.
You find Selenas everywhere. You find Selenas everywhere. That episode gets another type of hate on the Enterprise. I was actually talking about Prodigy, the animated show, but
Yeah.
when we're talking when we should go back to Enterprise and to the Trip becoming pregnant episode, it is one of those episodes that are playing on stereotypes and making fun of certain things. So that's why the episode gets a lot of hate. But I don't mind that episode. I actually like the concept of a race not actually breathing oxygen, for example. There were other sci-fi things that were actually not so often introduced in Trek
Mm-hmm.
that were interesting about that episode. Not necessarily the him the him and getting a third nipple or whatever it was, and him having hormonal imbalance and whatever stuff was there mentioned. those were supposed to be the funny parts, but the episode is actually good for way more way different things than this particular part. But
I really think
but sorry, because I wasn't on the stream before, so I'm not sure what you were talking about. If it goes somehow
no,
with
I was basically going to say that I really don't think the episode is bad because it's supposed to be humanity's first going out into space. Like
yeah.
this is the first time they've ever had to deal with anything like this. Like it's them having to deal with it and make the best of it. And that's what they're showing. They're showing like because they tried to make that version of Enterprise. Enterprise was supposed to be like people like us, like people from now going into space, and how would we react to certain things? And to me, that seemed a bit more realistic, where he would kind of have a problem with it, maybe, or how do they deal with it? This is the first time anything like that has ever happened. And then there's other moments where they reiterate this, where he's on a train in an alien environment, and there's a kid there who's getting oxygen or breathing air, and he thinks that the person is hurting the kid by not letting them breathe. But T'Pol has to correct him and say, no, stay out of it. That's what they're supposed to do. That's how they work. Because he didn't know, because he didn't go to the academy. He's just an engineer. He didn't go to the academy. There is no prime directive.
Was there
like,
even an academy at the time? There was no academy.
No, there wasn't. There wasn't.
And I can forgive a lot of things with Enterprise. Don't get me wrong. I didn't. There were several episodes I didn't care for. However,
there's an episode.
There's
an episode of Enterprise. Go ahead, Cap. I'm sorry.
But this other stuff that's coming out now,
yeah,
I'm sorry. Star Trek was not meant to be dystopian, ever.
Yeah. No, it's the opposite. It's supposed to be the opposite of it.
Now I can understand. I can understand wanting to change things. I get that. I really do. But the Federation would not have fallen apart, would not have totally given up on, okay, well, all the dilithium's gone.
Make a deal with the Romulans to run your ships on.
Stop.
Make a deal with the Romulans to run your ships on singularities. See, that's how you solve that issue.
Can I play a little bit of devil's advocate here?
Go for it.
It was already in who said it that the Federation is old and weak, and everybody is basically circling like vultures about around the Federation.
That was I think Gowron who said that. He was talking to somebody saying there was a paper tiger.
Yeah, So there was definitely a type of dialogue where they were talking about Federation being basically like old, and the fall of Federation is basically what they did there is what they did with what happened to the Roman Empire. Yeah, as well, was so big that it had to fall apart. But what you know what, and as well, the dystopian future that you are describing, of course, Discovery is completely dystopian compared to what we had before. Even in Deep Space Nine, despite all the war plots and everything, it wasn't dystopian. It was basically just it was basically a war.
Deep Space Nine was an allegory for World War II.
Yeah, definitely. We can take it from that perspective. But what was interesting in this episode, and for the first time basically on Discovery, where in the opening scene where they did basically the exploration, they ripped off the opening scenes from Star Trek Into Darkness and Star Trek Beyond, completely ripped off. But you know what? I didn't mind that because those movies were definitely better than Discovery ever was, despite I didn't like them that much. Uh, and they did some exploration, and they did try to reconnect with whatever species. One thing that bothered me a little bit, they could have talked to somebody who we already know, and not going to some butterfly people, like a completely new race that we'd never seen before.
And
But
yes,
they started like negotiations, so they are trying to probably do the twist, despite we have right now an exploded planet with and a galaxy threat, so galactic threat. So I don't know.
I just completely checked out with Star Trek because if you want to do a way a thing where Star Trek goes into this way where they kind of where the people kind of get fed up with the Federation and its nonsense, because there is a lot of nonsense that the Federation gets up to. There's a lot of rogue generals, or what do you call them, captains. Cisco was even one of them. He caused the fraud that got the Romulans into the war. So there's Admiral Doherty was messing with the Sona and tried to displace the Baku. That's some crap that people wouldn't like. That's some serious nonsense that people would be upset about.
well,
And
keep in mind that Cisco didn't do it on his own.
he
He didn't
didn't.
do it without backing.
He didn't. He got the go ahead from Starfleet. That's how dirty it is. It's one of these things where they show that. They're showing those things. And when they tried to displace, when they sided with the Cardassians on multiple occasions,
Yep,
knowing
in
full
TNG,
well what the
starting in
Cardassians,
TNG. Yeah.
knowing full well what the Cardassians were doing to the Bajoran people. They're on the wrong side of that issue. They're not doing the right thing in that regard. They haven't destroyed the Borg when they can. They didn't tell Picard destroy the Borg when he had the opportunity. They didn't tell him to. They left it up to his discretion, and he chose badly.
He was chewed out though, if you remember, in was it the season 6 finale?
He was. She said you made the wrong choice when dealing with the Borg. That's basically all she said. And he gave her some snacks, and they were friends. He did. And then you see, so the Federation would fracture along the lines of the Maquis. The Maquis were the key, the story, the narrative key to make the Federation break up, but not to split, but not break up. So you have like what happened with Great Britain and America. So the Maquis, whatever group they would form, along with the Ferengi after the war, would become like America and have a completely different set of values that doesn't involve the philosophy of self betterment. It involves I guess, what like in a constitutional republic. It's an old idea that needed to be reborn.
Yeah, you know what? But this is basically the main thing about Star Trek is Admiral bad, Captain good, and but that's the one thing. But definitely there are certain decisions that the captains make that are not necessarily the best ones. They probably seem to be the best ones at the point, but from a broader perspective, they are not necessarily the best solutions that they
So
can
what
come
I'm
up with.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is this. What I'm saying is this. If you're going to have the Federation split up, you can do it within the lore and you can have it split, but it doesn't need to be dissolved. It can just split. It can be, and then you can, maybe if you want to have a war where they have to war for their independence. They have to go and do their own thing, because Starfleet obviously had a hate boner for the Maquis for some reason.
The hate. I wouldn't consider it a hate. The problem was that they were trying to keep the peace with the Cardassians,
Mm-hmm.
and that's
What is
why
it?
they basically suppress the rights of the Maquis for the greater good of peace with the Cardassians, and the greater good put in quotes.
Well, the other thing is that there was, in some part, a certain why are you leaving the Federation? We're we're good. You should be on our
That's
side.
it.
Why
They can't. The, the
why
way
leave
they portray,
paradise?
they wait, but it's not. It's not paradise. They like what Eddington was saying about eating real food. They don't eat real food. It's all replicated. Why is it all replicated? It's like Demolition Man, because anything bad for you is not good, and it's illegal. Who says why? And there's a lot of times when you have that going on, it's like they do a lot of things that are really shady. They do it all the
Yeah.
time. They show it.
But you know what? That was the good part of the writing on Deep Space Nine. That
Mm.
basically it wasn't everything. Everything wasn't black and white.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Hmm.
shady decisions made by Cisco, shady decisions made by what's his name? You just mentioned him,
Eddington. But
Eddington.
why did
Eddington,
they care so
Michael
much about
Eddington. Yeah,
whatever Eddington wanted to do? Why did they care
and
so much? Why were they
and
so obsessed with the Maquis? I never
and
understood that.
the thing is that both had their reasons why they were doing it. Cisco obeying to the um, orders that came from the Federation, that the Maquis needs that the DMZ needs to be uh, DMZ, demilitarized zone,
Hmm.
and it should be empty, so there shouldn't
Hmm.
be any type of colonies. And the Maquis, basically, they wanted to live outside of any type of organization. They just wanted to live their lives as independent, and they were forcibly moved. It was once again the allegory, I would say. To a forced relocation of certain groups of people, and
Refugees,
it could go towards refugees, slavery,
unwanted.
the um, the natives in America, right? So
Yeah.
so that was this type of allegory here, and basically you can completely understand Eddington the same way how you can completely understand Cisco. And we lost Kanjak.
That's why
Probably
the
his phone
writing was great.
overheated.
Yeah.
That's why the writing was great, because there were times where you would sympathize with both, and then you can also have a dislike for their choices were at the same time. I mean, and Cisco became obsessed. It became an obsession with him with Eddington, because first he was under his command, and he turned on, and he turned,
Hmm.
and then it became he not Eddington wanted to be left alone, but then Eddington would find you knew the right buttons to zing him just enough that would make Cisco snap. Where, like, when he
Oh
bombed
yes,
that
oh yes.
planet.
He knew how to play Cisco.
Yeah. What
He
was that?
knew
What
how
was
to.
the episode where they bombed the planet, where he says, if you don't do this
For
in a certain amount of
for
time,
the
you'll be.
uniform, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yep.
For the
And he
uniform, yeah.
launched those weapons at the planet. He said, now it'll be uninhabitable and you won't be able to live there and you're gonna have to evacuate immediately.
Yeah. Because what Cisco wanted to do is basically save the lives of the colonists, because he knew that the Cardassians would probably
Hello,
probably destroy
I'm
those
back.
colonies.
Hmm.
That
Yeah.
was Cisco's point of view. Eddington was, why don't you w- why are you making us doing this? How about you leave us here with and let us live with all the consequences that may come to with it.
Hmm.
And basically, you have there two sides of the same coin, and you can either side with the one or the another.
That's my biggest problem with the way Starfleet and the way they wrote the story. There was no room for the Maquis in that world. No room for them at all. Not one bit, when there should have been. And the best stories in Star Trek always end that way, where there's conflict and it's resolved, and there's peace at the end. because these people have already done all of this. There's no reason for them to have this problem. There's
The
my favorite episode.
The Mackey plot stayed unresolved, and it could have been one of the cracks
It didn't
that
stay
made
unresolved.
Federation break.
Yes, it should have been. It should have been. They should have. They should have. If you're gonna have a dystopian sort of scenario, you got to have it to where there's a Federation journalism service, and they're there trying to find out the truth about things. So you get the news reporter to find out all this information. They are the ones like who find out about Section 31 or whatever. They find out about all kinds of information, and they let it out to the public where everybody sees what Starfleet has been doing. All of it, like a Snowden type character, lets all of this information out, and they show all the technology the Federation keeps hidden, all the stuff they don't allow people to do, the things they're all their dirt, right, comes out to the open, and then member worlds of the Federation start leaving and going off and doing their own thing. That's it. It breaks, but it doesn't shatter. It splits evenly straight down the middle. There are people that are pissed off at them for doing what they did, and there are people that aren't, that don't care, and they have to deal with the consequences of it, just like you would in real life.
Well, I agree. There would be situations that would change, and people, worlds that would leave the Federation. I don't think that it would have been the type of dystopia that it became.
No, it wouldn't be a dystopia. No, that's the story I just put out there wouldn't be dystopian. It would just split, and there would be people. They would have actual ideological disagreements, which they don't have in Star Trek.
No.
So you'd have the. What was that? Go ahead. I'm done.
And having the dystopian future, that there was another thing why it ruined my Picard viewing experience beyond the terrible writing and the terrible acting and the terrible choices that they make, because you see how you have the admiral telling off Picard, and we get to decide who lives and dies, which is not something the Federation would do, and it's not that long after the end of Next Generation. You're talking 20 years. It's not like 150 years. But knowing no matter what happens on Picard, no matter what they do, this next season could be great. They can find peace, change the timeline. Doesn't matter, because going into the future that Discovery shows you, it's all going to fall apart anyway. No matter what they do, it's all going to crash and burn, and the Federation is going to be a hellhole.
This is the problem.
Yeah, the Federation
this is the problem
failed.
with Discovery, that they messed up the past, and now basically every show that you create in the time between the 24th and 31st century, which is freaking 900 years of Star Trek, from where it goes and where it ends, because they are not only the prequel show, they are as well the sequel show right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And one last thing, we forgot that since Q is going to be on the Picard, the ultimate question is, Q could tell Picard, no, I can fix this with a snap, and Picard said yes or no.
He's also going to say no. They're not going to do that. They're going to mess with Q. They're going to make him more human than he ever has been, and they're going to say, "I can't do it anymore. The continuum has lost its power."
Or something like that, or something. They left that mojo, or it's a different time, and especially if the rumors are correct that Guinan is going to be in the series, and she can't say feel anything change, is lost. Because if she can feel that same change in yesterday's Enterprise, of course you can. Why can't you feel something now?
The problem with the character of Q is he was written in so many different ways on TNG.
I don't think there's a problem with Q.
Basically, he was a villain at certain times. He was a foe at certain times. But mostly he was a trickster. And this is he was basically the Loki of TNG, or basically the Loki of Star Trek. When you look at him,
and what? Yeah, and what, yes, I'm glad you said that. We're looking at since when did Q grow old? I thought we were infinite. So
yeah,
someone
and
got to
and
explain
and
that.
yeah, exactly, and that's the thing that the question is: will he be menacing, or will he just once again play with Picard, like with his favorite puppy?
Yeah.
That's the question.
I think that he's friendly when they first meet. He's friendly. I really do. I think he's friendly when they first meet because you got to remember Q has always had a fascination with humanity because humanity even when we suck, we're trying to do better than we are. That's what he said fascinates him because no other species in the universe does that. That's why he has a fascination with humanity. And he also was there when Picard almost died. He was there to help him resolve some issues. I don't know why he would care to help Picard resolve his issues, but he must. He obviously has some sway over life and death as a Q.
I can see.
We're
I think
talking
they're
about
gonna make Q.
tapestry, okay?
I think they're gonna make Q like an older version of Trelane.
Yeah, that's where he'll be. He'll probably be like Quint or what's his name, Finn.
Mm.
Finn from the original series. He'll
Uh-huh.
probably be at like that level of power because they're weird, or
Yeah,
like Trelane.
because I was looking at when they showed Q, I was looking at his his dress, his uniform. Look like all tight up, like a uniform, something like that. And someone like to let them look like that was Trelane. That tight dress like uniform. And get the gold cheese, got the street hair. So I'm I'm thinking like an older version of Trelane, older, more experienced, more knowledgeable. Yeah, little more sinister look.
But remember, Trillane was a child,
Yeah, I
and
know,
this
I
is
know.
basically where the
I'm saying this is how Train will look when you get older. I'm saying,
when he gets older, like, yeah.
yeah, like
But
mature,
but
older,
basically, but
wiser, more
basically,
experienced.
basically, Q is Trillane. Well, basically, what was Trillane in TOS is now Q in this
TNG.
type of track in
That's what a lot of
TNG.
people
And
think, but I don't agree. I don't agree with that assessment. I think Q is something completely different. I
I'm not
think,
saying it's the same race or something. I'm just
yeah,
saying the character
yeah,
and the traits are very similar.
exactly.
He was
I
a
And
think
powers.
prototype at first. Like,
there's a lot of similarities between characters and plots that are in the animated series as well. So they did a lot of stuff with characters and plots in the animated series.
Yeah,
So there's an
but
episode.
yeah.
There's an episode where they go to the center of the galaxy and they help the devil who's on trial.
Oh yeah, I remember
And
that.
then
Yeah, that was dual.
there's an episode where Picard goes on trial and he's being
Yeah,
tried
called it
with
Devil's
the
Duel.
devil. Yeah.
Devil's Duel.
So they there's a lot of other there's a lot of similar plot threads that
Oh yes.
Roddenberry was exploring with the animated series and with TNG. He did he did that one, and then remember when the episode where Geordi creates the hologram of Leah Brahms to get
Yeah.
out of that finger
Booby
trap?
trap. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they did something very similar in the animated series where they find this spaceship like made by an ancient race, and they go on there and they get a message just like in that episode when they make that log work from that really old spaceship. They do
Oh
the
yeah.
exact same thing, almost beat for beat, plot wise. That episode is exactly the same, and
And
then
Voyager
some
did also the
danger
same thing.
happens
Voyager also did
and they blow
did
it
an
up.
episode of the animated series. It was called I think it was Time Trap, something like that. Well,
Hmm.
and they called it the Void. There was one, and there was one episode where Harry Kim uh was got kidnapped with them women, That's also
they
animated
were
series.
draining. Yeah, and then Uhura and all the women had to rescue the men and save them from the pot. They were in water pots, and they had to shoot the water pots with the phasers.
Yeah, and there's one more. It's on Voyage. I'm trying to remember. It's a Voyage episode. I'm trying to remember what was the name of it. Oh no, I mean TNG Survivor.
Mm-hmm.
Survivor. Also, Next Generation movie. With
The one where Captain Robert April gets young because they go into the negative universe,
Oh
and he
yeah, the
comes
last
out
The
episode. Yeah, that
counterclock
was the
incident.
last.
a young man.
Yeah, that was the last episode of the animated series, if I remember correctly.
That was one of my favorite episodes.
yeah.
But I also
And
my most favorite episode of the animated series, let me just say, is the one where they get turned into sea creatures and they go underwater. That's my favorite one.
that was a good one. Yeah. What I
I'd
wanted
be
to say
shocked if they do that on
is
Discovery.
quarter to 1 a.m. So I'm
Yes.
going to bed, but don't talk bad about me because I'm going to listen.
Good night.
Absolutely,
God
Joseph.
bless.
Okay,
You
so
take care.
Captain Trek, thank you very much for having me on the panel. Was
Of course.
once again fun trying to talk good things about Discovery.
Oh God.
Trying
You're
to
right.
be positive. Yeah, I know. It's sickening to some people, but you know me. So take care, gentlemen, everybody
Take
here
care.
on the panel,
Yes.
and take care, everybody in the chat as well. And I see DG's there, LD is there, Darius. I saw your message. Take care, everybody. Bye.
Appreciate it. I see you.
Take care, Joseph. You know, I was thinking when you were mentioning about Q, why is he aging? And since he's supposed to be omnipotent, very easy and quick way to resolve that is have him show up looking like young Q just for a few seconds, even if it's for 30 seconds. And say, "Oh, you've aged so much, Captain. Hey, let me make you feel better." And he ages, and I'll age myself. Boom, done. Takes care of it. You don't have to worry about
I can see that. Yeah. I can see
Okay.
that right there.
Okay, LDG and Deej, you're more than welcome to come up.
All right. Oh, come on. Are you kidding me?
Captain, I do have to go, and it has nothing to do. You know, I love to meet LDG on a stream, hopefully very soon. But I do have to run. I've got some work stuff to take care of, my friend.
I thank you very much. I'll talk to you later, my friend. Thank you.
Take care.
Peace.
Take care, all.
Come on, LG. Come on up, big mouth. I don't do respect on being, but y'all. What's wrong, LG? Come on. Come on up.
Come on, Pickles.
Come on, Pickle. How we screw this up now? Come on. I want to hear this joke.
And yes, Pecan, it was great to have you on.
Yeah. Yeah. Come on, we waiting, old man.
Oh, I know why. He can't
What?
because he's going to be on the WandaVision live watch party. So he's just swinging by before he goes on to
WandaVision. That stupid ass show.
Yep. Because he's going to be on the panel, I'm sure.
Oh, okay. Yeah, come on, LG.
Oh, he's still trying to get his voice back.
Oh yeah.
I didn't hear he lost his voice.
With all that screaming and yelling. Yeah, I finally watched it after we get through talking earlier. I sit there and watched it, and I'm like, crap. And I switched over. What's that guy name? Jeremy show, and he was blasted.
Oh yeah. Well, let's put it this way. I know LDG thinks that Q can fix it all, and I'm sorry, no, ain't gonna happen.
Right, I mean,
not a chance in hell.
You're right, no, but like I said a long time ago, when I first heard Q's gonna come back, that's the first thing everybody gonna say. Gonna come on this show and say the word no Picard. I can fix it with one snap. And if Picard says no, then we know the writers not gonna do anything. So
I'm sorry. The writers, if they were to do that, would be admitting they were wrong,
And
and they're not
exactly.
going to.
And I'm not. And what got me really surprised about it, I'm surprised he's not even popped up on Discovery. He's been on every show except Discovery. So why is that? So
That's a good question, actually. Particularly in the future, when obviously they've been with humans before, so
yeah, he's
but
infinite.
are they
So
gone?
yeah, so he's infinite. So what's the deal? I would love to see him pop on that show and say, like, what? Oh, where this from?
Okay, Deej is going to crawl back in his sleeping bag and won't be at the keyboard. I cannot believe we cannot get either Deej or LDG up here.
Pussy.
Oh well, don't insult pussy that way. That's just bad. You Cockney wannabe. I don't know. No, it's too insulting to Cockney.
Uh-oh.
You're
Do
gonna
I see
call
who I
me
think I see?
pussy?
Okay, what's up, Deej?
I fucking have COVID again.
There's a D in the house.
Yeah, I heard that.
That's why I'm crawling back into my sleeping bag.
Crawl back in your sleeping bag and get some rest.
But you called me out. So here I am.
Oh.
Did you see Did you see this episode?
Fuck no.
Thank God. Oh, I'm gonna save you some time, D. Don't.
Exactly.
I watched the Bird of Prey 5 review.
Take a long shot. Get a
What
long
did you
drink.
What did you think of Bird's review?
Well, besides him sleeping through half of it, I can understand why, because it sounds like a shit show, crap ass episode, and that's why I'm not watching Star Trek anymore. Fuck that shit.
I was gonna say, do like Salty and get a long drink and a couple of drinks and then watch it.
There is nothing good Star Trek past Enterprise.
Correct.
The rest of it is crap.
Mm-hmm.
I wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Yosef. I respect his opinion. I just think he's 100% wrong.
That's why I will not sit there and watch Lower Directs. I will not watch season 2 of Piss Card, or I will not watch STD, Social Transmitted Disease Show. Fuck that.
That's a good one. That's the first. No apology. You've got the apology. Where do they call it? The little kid show.
Oh, the first 2 episodes I saw together were, Star Wars. Deej, bed.
Now, if I go and crawl into my sleeping bag, are you not going to call me out again?
I will not call you out again. You crawl into your sleeping bag.
Thank you.
And yes, how's it going? How's it going? Games, movies, and comics are us. Discovery to be lacking something on several levels. Yeah, I would say By the way, Games, have you seen season 4, episode 1 of Star Trek Discovery? Kobayashi Maru.
Oh, by the way, you go on their website, they block the comment, so go figure.
Where?
Discovery website or so you can't make any comments on that thing. So they blocked it. They locked it.
Oh, of course, because yeah, they know that people like me would be on there going, yeah, go fuck yourself. And I would have no problem with saying that.
Like I said earlier, I was on Jeremy's show, and he said they block him, they block Robert, another guy was saying,
RMB, yeah.
they block a lot of people, and he worked on Star Trek. So I was shocked that, but they block everybody.
And hello, Carla Green. How are you? Or Greenback, excuse me, Carla Greenback. How are you? And yes, I wonder what that Nigel movie guy thinks of STD. That would be an absolutely wonderful, wonderful question. He prefers movies to TV shows. Okay. That's good to know. I'm doing good, thank you, except of course I watched Star Trek Discovery season 4, episode 1, Kobayashi Maru. Honestly, a horrible episode. If I were to rate it on a 10-star
0.
rating, I would
Rate
no,
of
I
0.
would give I'm giving it a 3. I'm giving it a 3. It got a little bit, at least, Mikey Spock acted more like a Federation officer this time around. So I'm giving it a 3. That's probably going to be the high rating for me for this season. And hello, Doug's Gaming. How are you? Wow. So what did everyone think of STD season 4, episode 1? Put a 1 in the chat if you liked it. Put a 2 in the chat if you didn't like it. And I'm glad to hear that you're doing good, Doug's Gaming. Jeff B says STD is starting off well. And hello. Well, hello, Jeff B. How are you doing? It's
You know what?
okay,
I'm still surprised that Salty has not made any comment lately.
I have been surprised that I have not seen a video or a live stream from him concerning this, because I just figured he would by now.
At least one small comment or anything, but so far he's dark. So he tell me, I think he watched it and he's pissed. So I think he's drunk.
I don't think he's drinking, so I don't know what he's doing. Good grief. Because I'm looking back, I'm seeing an hour ago, 2 hours ago. I'm just looking to see if I see anything. Yeah, I'm seeing comments. Yeah, okay. 3 hours. No, there's not been anything out by Salty Trucker yet, which I'm really, really surprised by.
I saw Bird, but I didn't watch the whole thing. But I saw Birdman's comment. But
Oh yeah. Excuse me, Nerdrotic was live 4 hours ago. I don't know if he's still live.
He's still on. I just left about a couple hours ago, but he was on. But he blasted. I mean, he was perfect. He was on the money. Talking about the lady, the president was Miss Hillary. Call her President Hillary too. And correct me wrong. That the lady who played the president, did she look? She was a Calassian.
I don't know, but yeah. The funny thing is, just looking up,
because I would be shocked if that lady was a Calassian.
I think she was supposed to be, but it definitely did not look like what we would consider Cardassian. But who knows?
I was thinking that doctor from Enterprise. What's the name? The race. I thought he looked like that.
He looked more like Phlox than he did. Yeah.
That's what I thought. I thought it was Phlox race, but it looked like
he didn't quite look Denobulan, but he definitely didn't look Cardassian either. And they may explain that he's cross race or something.
That's what I know about SCD. You see a lot of cross people, a lot of them. Everybody's mixed breeding now.
And hey, Jerm, what's up?
What? That'll be a first.
He is a
Bajoran human. Wow.
Cardassian Bajoran human mix. That's okay. That would be an interesting take on it.
I think this one of these makeup people, they just grabbed some wherever Michael Westmore and left over and just took it and put something together and was like, okay, here we go. That's it.
But in all honesty, I have got to say that I hated this episode.
Oh, God.
I mean, it had its moments where it was not completely trash, but they were brief. They were brief. Trash. And finding little moments of whatever.
Did you see the what's that character on Deep Space Nine? Mog on the station?
Which one?
The idiot who said in Quark's bar always don't say anything. What do you call it? Nog or Mog? Where you got it?
No. That was shit.
Yeah, two stomach or something.
God damn it! I know the name. Morn.
Is it? Yeah. They had one on there on a station. You can't see it, but it's brief.
That was just utterly. Yeah, I don't. No, I don't think so.
No, it was there. You'll see it. You watch it again. Watch it when after the guy, the beta, what's they call him, beta male, Mr. Beta male, pulls out his phaser, and everybody's standing in shock. Like they're trying to put the exit. They're trying to get to the skate park. They put to get to the skate parts, and he pulls out the magic gun out of nowhere, and you see the camera, and you see people behind him. You'll see him right behind him. It's real quick, because they move the camera real quick, but you'll see him.
Yeah, the walrus guy. Yep.
Oh, I can hear you. I'll fix the volume again.
Oh, well. Damn it. Well, I guess now is as good a time as any to wrap this up. Let's just say my review is not positive. I would give this a 3 at best. And don't worry, Aravic. We're not talking any spoilers. It's just go watch it, see what you think for yourself. I'm giving it a 3. Enjoy. Live long and prosper, and may the force be with you.